Okay, the title of this video is going to be 2011 Lincoln MKZ 3.5 liter Nightmare ECM. Now, this is not a knock on anybody, any of the companies I sent it to, as far as fixing the computers or programming the computers, because this stuff is really tricky, really tricky stuff. So you got to be really patient, and you got to throw a lot of weapons at it just to even figure it out. It's real tricky. But this car here, the first place I sent it to, they got rid of the misfire, but and the car ran better, but when it idled, it still had a rough idle, and the fuel trends were still high, around 25%. So I sent it to a different place, and they tried to fix it. It didn't go well, so I sent it back to this place, and they told me the car had a bad ECM. So right now I'm getting ready to put this remanufactured ECM in the car, and I'm going to tell the full story on what I had to go through to get to this point here. All right. Installing the computer. Hard to get to. Okay. Yeah, this long neck ratchet really. I think I see it right there. Battery box in. Over these 10 millimeter bolts. So it's gonna rain. Okay. battery tray. Oh, shoot. Start raining. I'll get that catches anyway. Okay. Rain on my parade. Gotta pull my air compressor in out of the rain. All right, I forgot to hook up the connectors. I gotta take this back out. More. I say these air tools really come in handy, or even cordless tools. Anything better than using a hand ratchet. Do is take these. I think I forgot them, but I guess I got a lot on my mind. Okay. So I guess there's only two connectors, one at the bottom, one at the top. But let's see. Go up here. Okay, so I guess this one goes at the bottom. You can't mix them up because they got a little bit different pattern too, so you can't. That can go at the top. Yeah. Okay. And maybe this one go at the bottom. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got that one on the wrong too. long one. Okay, that one. That one. Okay. I want to. Okay. Okay. Go there. This one goes here. All right, I got it in there. I kind of forgot how the connectors hooked up, but I'm gonna do a full story on the Nightmare ECM. All right, the name of this video is going to be Nightmare ECMs. When the car was brought to me at the end of, I guess, last winter, well, at the end of 2023, the car had a misfire that wouldn't go away. So what I did is I changed the spark plugs, I did the injectors, so the misfire wouldn't go away. So what I did is I sent the computer out. They somewhat fixed it. So the misfire was gone, but it still had a rough idle. And it was also throwing a code for oxygen sensors. So I went through, replaced all of those. I had an exhaust leak, I fixed that. It still had, it ran better when I got the computer back. It came back, the misfire was gone, but it still had a rough idle. The fuel trims were still high, but it was running better. So what I did is I replaced the upper intake manifold and the lower intake manifold. Then I tested it. It still had a rough idle, so I ended up replacing the upper intake manifold. Right here, this is the one that came with the car. It was warped up here, so I replaced that. Then I replaced the lower intake manifold gaskets. Okay, but it still kind of ran the same. So what I ended up doing next is I did the valve cover gaskets, and I did the spark plug tube gasket. Which is these here. I actually ended up, where is it at? I ended up cracking, look at this, it's showing. I ended up cracking this valve cover. I got these from eBay real cheap. So the lesson I learned on these, if you're doing a spark plug tube gasket, you want to go to Ford and get the ones that are made out of like a hard rubber versus these here, because it took a lot of force to try to press these in, and I ended up cracking this valve cover, so I had to go to the junkyard and get another one. And let's see, I replaced this, and I replaced this here, and also I replaced this. I think I ended up breaking it. I replaced that. So with all that being did, went through the whole motor. I've even contemplated even taking the motor apart, but I spoke to a guy and he said, well, you know, that's not the, you know, the engine's okay, you don't need to take the motor apart, so you got another issue. So anyway, I sent the computer out for the second time. The company, they tried to fix it, then they sent it back, and I'm still doing the same thing. So so now I got a remanufactured computer, but now it's running better, but it still has a rough idle. It still has fuel trim problems, but I guess on some of these situations, I guess you gotta probably know when to throw in the towel. You know, you did everything you could, and you know, your best efforts are just ain't enough. And I don't think it's worth possibly sending it to the dealer and them going through using the dealer software to try to figure out what's wrong with the car, you know. So I thought I had it plugged in. Right now we don't have a check engine light, but I'm gonna go to pending codes. Yeah, no pending codes right now. Now the amount of effort that I put into this car, I seriously doubt very few shops or even a dealer want to put this much effort into the car, you know, even though they do have more capability, but you can't just keep charging for your time. You know, like I mentioned in the first video, the car was brought to me with a misfire on cylinder number 3. So I did you know, the spark plug thing, you know, changed spark plugs. The misfire wouldn't go away, so I sent the computer out, and they kind of fixed it. The misfire was gone, but the car still had a rough idle. So anyway, it was also throwing codes for oxygen sensors, so I replaced those, and it had an exhaust leak. And then I got a video out there where I air checked the motor. So I had a leak on where the upper and lower intake manifold meet. Those gaskets were bad. And then then I went and changed the lower intake manifold gaskets. Then I went back up to the upper intake. And like I showed in the previous video, it was warped and it was leaking. So I went to the junkyard and got another one of those. And then from there, I had a blew out valve cover on bank 2, and I got a video showing that. I'm gonna point to where it was at. So anyway, the valve cover was blew out right up in here. The valve cover. So I end up doing the valve covers, and I also end up doing the spark plug gasket tube, and I did the crank sensor gasket tubes. So I went through the entire top of the engine, chasing down vacuum leaks. But data stream. And I air checked everything, and I smoked and air checked. I didn't have any more vacuum leaks. So I sent the computer out to a different place, and it still had, they tried to fix it, but you can see the fuel trims here. For some reason, bank 2 fuel trim, long-term fuel trim's not coming down. So I sent it back out. So now I got a remanufactured computer, which is going to be at the start of, I'm showing it at the start of this video, and I'm still having fuel trim problems. So I don't know if it's a bad file in the ECM or what, but it's now beyond my capabilities. It's probably beyond a lot of people's capabilities. Even if they got a more advanced diagnostics, the thing is, do they want to put that kind of effort into it? Just and this stuff's it's kind of maybe. It might work, it might not work, and then you got to still charge the customer for this work you did on the computer. So I guess if anybody see this video, I don't know if they have any suggestions, oh shoot. Well, anyway, you already seen the fuel trims. I got long-term fuel trim on bank 1 and 2, and also I checked the fuel pump. The fuel pump's within spec, because a weak fuel pump could also throw a vacuum code or cause a vacuum leak. So I guess I need this car. I guess I gotta drive it around some more and let it throw me some codes or something. Yeah, but this is the Nightmare ECM 2011 Lincoln MKZ.